In part 3 of the Rover challenge, we're looking at the landing system. So for this, you need to design and test a landing system that can drop the payload in a specific location with a minimum amount of impact force. So for this, you're going to design some sort of landing system, which could be a parachute or some other contraption that ensures that your rover can land as close to the target that we will allocate as possible once dropped, and it doesn't break or damage the payload. In this case, our test is going to be a vertical test, so we are going to drop it vertically over a target marked on the ground below, and the idea is that your rover will land in that target and have minimal or ideally no damage whatsoever. The assess part for this is that you need to calculate the potential energy the payload has once you drop it, the kinetic energy when it reaches the ground, and represent the energy/force that must be absorbed through the landing system to ensure the survival of the payload. You're going to do this through an infographic. So this component is individual. Your landing system you'll design in your team, but this section in red, which is the assessed component, will be done individually. So you're creating an infographic. You need to show all of your calculations and explain the science between or behind the energy systems that you use. And there is going to be some research required for some of the higher level work that you might want to put in. Include things like images, diagrams, etc. within your infographic. And a couple of different examples that we can see are here. So the first one was the NASA infographic about Artemis 1. And you can see, not directly linked to what we're doing, but it's a great infographic. So lots of statistics, it's got some great headings, some visual representations. The other example is a bit more detailed. This is talking about space exploration with the NASA budget. We got some really good data here, some great visuals, some financial statistics, percentages, etc. It's a really good infographic. So that is your assessment for part 3. In terms of the landing system, it must meet the following requirements. It should land the rover safely without damage on the designated landing site, and it must be a self-supported system, can have no direct user input once released. This is going to be tested both by distance from the landing site that it lands and the condition of the rover upon landing. In this case, the highest score is the team with the lowest number on the test. So you can see the distance from the landing score, you want that to be as small as possible, and the condition of the payload, you want it to be undamaged and get you 50 points. Your total score is the sum of the two. How much damage added to the distance from the landing site. That is part 3 of Olympus Mons Rover Challenge.